Hey everyone, welcome to our hilarious journey. Shane is curious about what Mum is up to. Maybe she's about to spill some tea. The luxurious houses along the way are like a visual party, each telling a heartwarming yet funny tale, and Shane's mind is throwing a magical fantasy bash. Enjoying unprecedented peace and beauty, it's like being in a dreamy park. But fate played tricks as their car suddenly stopped. They were forced to stop at a roadside repair shop, like an unexpected pit stop celebration. The mechanic took a good look and found the radiator was seriously wounded, and the belt was worn out and ready to quit. If they kept going, it would be like meeting the Grim Reaper, and Mum, she held a precious gold ring, a time ticket, and gave it to the mechanic willingly. This ring carried endless memories, and though Mum felt heartbroken, she had no better choice but to make this special payment. After the car was fixed, the family started up again, like a family getting recharged, continuing their winding journey. Hungry, they made egg sandwiches, true camping chefs. At night, they lit a fire by the tree, its flames like warm stars. This unexpected break not only recharged them physically, but also warmed the bond between mother and children, as if the car's energy was reignited. When they reached Ohio, the old car and the bodies felt like they had joined an extreme challenge. Finally, by a country road, Mum stopped and caught her breath. Here stood a lonely little cabin, like a forgotten puzzle, with a roof nearly collapsed and surrounded by weeds and wilted shrubs, as if abandoned by nature. Gazing at the undulating mountains and the gloomy sky, the natural beauty had its own strange charm. Ra's gaze lingered on the land, feeling like meeting an old friend. A wave of warmth washed over her. She knew this would be their safe haven, the launching pad for their dreams about to take flight. Though the house was small, it could guide them through life's storms, like a cozy little boat. The owner of the house was a farmer who had toiled for a lifetime, like a future apple tycoon. Ras states her intent to buy the land, but Mr. Moo seems to ponder Cat's fate. Subtitles. Although he desired to engage in negotiations with Ra, he had already formulated a secret plan in his mind. Ra had no intention of conducting the transaction with money. Instead, she planned to utilize her superpowers for the exchange. She offered to work daily in the orchard, a guaranteed win-win for Mr. Moo, almost like planting fruit for himself. Mr. Moo was optimistic about this and considered Ra as a new partner, but little did he know about her hidden superpowers. The teamwork and the job with the kids gradually got their lives back on track, thanks to their incredible synergy. Ra gained a terrible entry ticket through negotiation while taking over his life as well. As the temperature dropped, Ra and the kids had more work to do, like being swept along in the waves of life. They threw some discarded tops on the roof while the kids, with their little hands, held up the hope of home, like little architects making a big push. Life was tough, but there was always a glimmer of hope shining through, brightening their future just right. Ra even traded some tires for furniture, truly a new beginning right there. Every time Mr. Moo asked about those tires, Ra felt like she was the smartest person in town, wisdom flowing like a fountain. Ra found a job at a bowling alley to make ends meet, and her eldest son got a position at a dairy plant, truly a shining example of family unity. Subtitles. Mr. Moo brought over several windows, which he had traded for wood from the town, as if he were handing them the key to their life. However, Ra looked surprised, almost ready to tell him that thank you doesn't mean let me help you. At this moment, Ra let her eldest son take charge of the orchard's chores, and Shane had no other option left. However, Shane felt quite fortunate that he had unwittingly learned to drive the tractor, talk about a life comeback. As dusk fell gently, a wisp of smoke rose with the wind, like a warm poem being whispered. The lights came on, filled with the laughter of the family. The kids jumped excitedly at the sketches, as if narrating hopeful life stories. As the school bell rang out, the church basement turned into this shopping paradise. There were many clothes and essentials here, set up to help families in need. What a delightful surprise. The kids picked out lots of clothes, but in the end, Ra returned them all, truly committed to self-sufficiency. She ultimately picked some hilariously ugly fabric to stitch outfits for the kids, and the result was predictably an array of artistic disasters. Facing the bewildering gazes of the town and the giggles from the pals, the kids had to toss the outfits into the trash, as if escaping a fashion tribunal. Maury struggled to adapt to the situation until one day he stumbled upon a junkyard, and a magical gold rush began. There, he met a quirky old man who loved crafts, and a humorous partnership quickly blossomed. With just a few words, Maury made the old man laugh, and he escaped with a second-hand toilet as his pay. The sheer joy on his way home was priceless. From then on, every Wednesday, Maury would dig for treasures at the old man's junkyard. Even if the earnings were meager, he couldn't get enough. Shane started working every morning, trekking 2 kilometers to school, though sometimes he hitched a ride. Most of the time he walked. But he always put in the effort to learn, mostly relying on his feet to get to school during his time there because walking gave him more time to think. Today, the 2 brothers were repairing the roof when Morris' adventurous spirit caused him to inadvertently tumble down. This made Shane feel frantic and furious as he rushed down the ladder to check on Maury, only to discover that a nail had cruelly impaled his back. The younger siblings were frightened by the scene. Mom and Mr. Moo were nowhere in sight at that moment. Shane had no choice but to carry his brother sprinting to the town's hospital. On the way, Maury cried, and his brother Shane comforted him constantly. Fortunately, they met the returnees midway. Maury wasn't badly hurt, just needing a few days' rest. Although Shane let out a sigh of relief, guilt welled up inside him as he vowed to care for his siblings, truly the role of a qualified big brother. Remember to subscribe to my channel as we continue to explore this family's warm and humorous journey.